Hello, everyone! Welcome back! It is I, your friendly neighborhood Prax, and I have a new friend. Hello, new friend. Would you like to introduce yourself to the internet?
Yes, hello. My name is Northern Kadir, also known as Werewolf Feels. I am a tabletop writer, cultural consultant, and city consultant. I play in a lot of I do a lot of things. I wear every single hat that you can imagine, except liar. I'd never lie to you. Out of game.
Well, that's fair.
My pronouns are he. My pronouns are he/him, and right now, if you want, you can catch me on Wandering DM's channel playing a Witcher game, and I'm on the Game Master Monday podcast playing a game of Demigods PBTA. So that's pretty much all you need to know about me. I'm excited. I haven't played V20 in a very long time.
Yeah, I will give you the quick reason we're playing V20. Besides my not love of V5.
Okay.
Look, I've been public about that since we streamed Montreal by Night. You can go watch me do that. Um, is this whole universe came out of a game I ran on Simon's channel 5 years ago. Um, and I got lazy and didn't want to do conversion math to other systems for existing characters and NPCs.
It's I will say that's one of the most overwhelming things about the systems are significantly different enough that it's not just a one to one.
You can't just account for things like that. But let me just give a quick question for you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know what New York looks like. Well, if you don't, not everybody does. New York is a city of called the City of Dreams, called the City of Nightmares. A city that never sleeps. A city that looked at Stephen Moffat's The Angels Take Manhattan and laughed and said, when, in a city that never sleeps, would anybody not be looking at the Statue of Liberty? A city where, as the song says, the people ride in the hole in the ground, the Bronx is up and the battery's down. It's later in November. It's cold. There's a smell in the air that can only be described as saltwater seaweed, pollution that's been improved for decades but is still god awful, and somebody smoking something that they shouldn't. And that's not necessarily in condemnation of the herb in general, just the particular variety, shall we say. The East River is a unique, permeating scent, but it comes across through all of New York. This night, a full moon, but who worries about the moon in the city of 1,000 lights? Who do we see?
His name is Ayaz. His hair is loose and curly and falling all around his shoulders, but only getting to about the shoulder length. He wears white, exclusively white, from head to toe, and his
Okay, I have
eyes
to
are
have one
hidden.
clarifying question.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
It's a very important question. Are
Sure,
we
sure.
talking summer white or winter white?
more, more like an autumn white.
Oh, very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. A light long sleeve tee, white jeans, white loafers. There's a white scarf around his neck, and he wears a pair of sunglasses that are not white because that wouldn't make any sense. They're black. He's got his hands in his pockets. His back is hunched a little bit, like he's trying to keep an eye on his steps in front of him. Completely oblivious to the world, or at least that's what he looks like.
Mm. And the world, or at least in this case, New York, is, well, New Yorkers are both oblivious and not. They are oblivious in the sense that they don't really care what he looks like or what he's doing, as long as he's not actively harming them, anyone else, or flashing them. But at the same time, they acknowledge his existence enough to move around him, move through him. He's a pebble as the water of flood of people move around him. The subways rattle, the trains hiss and clank. You can hear it even above ground. But the city has a heartbeat to it. And right now, there's a rise of erraticness in that heartbeat. How long has he been in New York?
Just a day, or should I say, one night before tonight.
Did he come by train or by plane?
He came by plane, stuffed into somebody's baggage.
Mm. This is going to, just be a very New Yorker question, and I'm only sorry for it, for this very New Yorker question. But did he at least go through LaGuardia or JFK, or was he stuck going through Newark?
Definitely through Newark.
Mm.
He doesn't want people to necessarily know that he's in town.
Mm. Is he trying to avoid someone in particular? Or just anyone?
Anyone who doesn't need to know.
Mm. That's true. There's been a lot of upheaval in New York in the last few years. A Justiciar in the city, a purge of an entire clan.
And then that weird thing with the lupines.
I mean, really, an agreement of a peace treaty that's been in existence for 150 years, is it really that weird? Or is it just the way in which New York makes people get along?
Let's just say it raised some eyebrows 150 years ago. And with each new piece of news that comes out of the city, those eyebrows get raised even further. And if
Mm.
you've ever met, a certain Ventru or that specific Toreador halfway across the world, nestled into their European cabins, their eyebrows really only go so far.
True, but there is one Ventru in the old world, shall we say, that is, I don't know if ignoring it or taking pleasure in enjoying the chaos from a distance. But Mithras has his own opinions about things, and technically, the Prince of New York was a vassal of his more than a few centuries ago. So, is it really a chaos, or is it just further expanding the reason why there are certain vampires that break the mold?
Well, that's what I'm here to find out.
Indeed. So I guess the question is, now that you're here in the city that never sleeps, going through the secondary train station of Penn Station, there's chaos in the air as the Ranger game is about to begin. And they're celebrating their centennial. So, of course, Ranger fans are going to Ranger fan. And going through Penn Station to get to Madison Square Garden is a thing. There are a number of people who are moving around you, moving through you. Anyone who bumps into you is not a New Yorker.
Uh, Tuning my hearing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody who sounds out of place? There's a lot of people talking about the Rangers game, and there's probably people going home from work or heading out to work, especially this time of night. But Is there anyone who doesn't fit?
Oh, I mean, you could roll me perception awareness.
Sure. Perception
So this
awareness.
is actually on the sheet. There's a tab that says dice.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to that, it's the second set below. You can just put the ability, the attribute. Make sure wound is turned off because for some reason it's auto turned on. And then DC 6. Is there any reason you would have any bonuses?
Let me perception awareness. You said,
Mm-hmm.
and wound penalties are on. No,
You turn them off.
modifiers. Yes, wound penalties are at no. Modifiers are at 0. Difficulty. I don't know yet.
6.
Uh, 6.
Yeah.
I do have a little thing called Auspex.
Oh, you do. Yeah, you can go ahead and lower that difficulty by what? How many points in Auspex do you have?
Just one.
Okay, so down to 5.
Alrighty. Hopefully that works.
Yep,
There
6
we go.
successes and oh wait, hold on, I gotta do. Well, you can re-roll the 10.
I can re-roll a 10. Right.
Yeah, explodes. The one does not explode on the re-roll. So a re-rolled 10, if you roll a 1, is not a penalty.
Gotcha.
So
It
6
only landed
successes, however, is very good.
a little bit.
Just a little bit. Like that's an
I
extraordinary
try.
success. Um, there's always a group of individuals, right? Like you have to weed out the locals who are going to the game or going home from work or on their way to work. You have to weed out the tourists who are out of place inherently, right? But there's a certain rightness of place of their out of placeness. But
Mm-hmm.
there is a little bit of people. And in a post 9/11 world, in the city of New York, all of the train stations have both Grand Central and Penn Station have permanent um, task force presence. There are two individuals who look like they should be part of that task force, but aren't focusing on the right things. They're not looking at the tourists or the Rangers fans. They're not looking at people for bags left unattended. They're focusing more on access points to service tunnels, perhaps more darkened alleyways. They don't they dress the part. There's a discipline in their stance. There's a staunchness as they stand, but they stand apart. And as an individual who grew up as part of the United States military industrial complex, and why we raise money for Fisher House Foundation, which, by the way, this is my spiel to say that you can donate to affect the game and give crit successes or advantages to both of us. You know, I'm just saying that one of us could get advantage or whatever to support Fisher House Foundation. Fisher House provides care, housing, and support for veterans and their families, while those veterans and or members of their family undergo treatment at VA hospitals around the country and around the world. But having grown up in that environment, having lived through that environment, even the most attentive man, woman, and non-binary in uniform stands not apart from their peers. There's a togetherness of a squad. They watch each other's backs even when they're separated across a room. These two don't check in with any other member of the task force that you can see. They don't lean into gossip or laughingly smirk at somebody who is attractive as they walk by. They keep themselves separate.
You said they were looking at service tunnels.
Hmm? Yep.
You said they were looking at service tunnels. I know enough about my kind.
Hmm.
Could I guess, using my intuition, that these might be the rumored Inquisition folks that I've been worried about?
Well, they definitely have a heartbeat,
Sure. Okay. That's fine.
and they're dressed as TAC officers. You don't see any visible religious paraphernalia, but you know.
Uh, okay. Let me just quickly just. Hmm.
So that gives you a crit. Chris gave
Yeah.
you a crit, so there you go. And now I feel that I must officially say this statement because with that donation, Coast Guard's beating Army in the Battle of the Branches. Sorry. So, crit for whenever you need one.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, crap. I'll make a note.
Yep, it's on the screen
One.
too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Uh, I'm gonna take a quick look at him.
Mm-hmm.
There's two of them side by side, right?
Yep, they're both male. They're both crew cut. If they weren't actively wearing tack vests, you could perhaps envision them in a white collared shirt, black tie, black pants, and a nine badge.
I'm gonna take a look at them,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna mosey on up.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, sorry, I don't mean to bother you, but I saw I thought I saw someone coming out of that tunnel. To whichever one responds first, I'm gonna catch one person's eye.
Okay. Um. Uh, uh, Thank you. Which tunnel, sir? Thank you.
It's that one just down there, and as I do,
Mm-hmm.
let's use a little stirring of emotions. Let's activate someone's passions.
Ooh, really?
Let's use dementation.
We have not seen dementation because we have not had any friends who could use it.
Funnily enough, not originally one of my clan disciplines, despite the fact I'm of the right clan. Weird how that works. But yes, I'm going to talk to the victim and I roll charisma plus empathy, and
Mm-hmm.
the difficulty will equal the victim's humanity or path rating. For the sake of argument,
Yep.
I'm from the use it or lose it crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we use that crit here?
You can indeed use that crit here.
Fantastic.
Do you just want to crit on these poor young possibly individuals that look like they belong to the Mormon Church, but have
Yep.
tack gear?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure, sure. What do you want them to? What is the actual result that you want out of this? Because you're going to get it. You've crit.
I want them to get so distracted
Mm-hmm.
that they start attracting attention, enough attention that I can slip into a pocket and take what's inside.
Oh,
Figure
in
out
their
who one of these
pockets?
people are. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So the minute you start to direct them, the individual on the left, they really are just carbon copies of each other, even if they are, having similar difference. Theory, they're different people, but it's very
They're really the
similar.
same thing.
They're the same thing. There's not a lot of individuality, expression, but you start to see emotional response. And you see them start scanning around, looking around, becoming agitated. You immediately know two things. Number one, they are not calling the rest of this squad that they're supposed to be working with. You just reported the possibility of seeing someone in a service tunnel in a Penn Station who shouldn't be there,
Yep.
and they're not contacting the task force to deal with that. They're trying to deal with it themselves. You do hear them start muttering to each other through comms, right? Like that level of they're wearing active comms so they don't have to talk as loud, even though they're standing right next to each other. Um,
Hmm.
but then they start agitating and they're like, no, I have to, I'm going to go. We, and you hear one of them say, wait, we have to wait. We called in. They're coming. They're going to be here. They're right over there. They're coming. And he's like gesticulating away from the rest of what should be his tax squad. And the other one is like, no, we need to get them now. We need to make sure that they don't spread. They're a hazard. And he's like kind of ignoring his buddy and going to go towards that door. But his friend is like holding on to him. The two of them are very distracted now. Like they've ignored. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. There's also this inherent level of you can tell that they have this sense that they are inherently superior to anyone, really.
Hmm.
That they kind of increase that area around them just by who, that they are believe themselves better than everyone, regardless of who that is, because they are inherently better informed. Mm, they're not great. Really not great people. Um, and because so they had already kind of dismissed you anyways once you told them what was going on, but now it's even further. Like you are in, they are entirely distracted. You can pickpocket both if you wanted to.
That's great. I'd love to.
Could you just roll me a d10? This is just going
A
to see
D.
how much you get out of their pockets. That's all.
I can
Or
handle
more
one.
accurately, how many pockets you get to roll into. All right,
Just three.
that's three. Three each. That's fine. I mean, would you really want to try and? They're going to be, like the back pockets and the front pockets are going to be pretty much the easiest ones that you're going to get, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um. So here's where we know that they are not true TAC officers. They have their actual like driver's license in their wallet on duty.
I was hoping that was true.
So you get both of their wallets. Um, they both have um, key cards, just basic key cards. They don't seem, there's no identifying information on what they're for. They're basic white RDFI key cards. You have also, one of them had a like package of double mint gum in his back pocket.
Oh,
And the other in his back pocket, you also find a subway map card. So these are little cards. They're literally like the size of a credit card or like a business card that have the New York City subway maps printed on them front and back. On the one side is just Manhattan. On the other side is the outer boroughs.
handy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
But
I start.
operational security means you shouldn't be doing
No, no. This is a real fuck up for them. I mean, why run off to the tunnel? They're gonna get so reprimanded.
that. So,
Uh,
mm-hmm.
it's fine. That's
It's
fine for them. I'm gonna just start walking in the opposite direction, threading my way through.
Yep.
I take out a piece of gum and just start chewing it. I've got the eat food merit, to be clear,
Okay, that's great.
so it tastes like mint. And I just keep walking, heading out.
Where are we headed? Uptown, downtown, crosstown? The city is open to you.
So last I heard, there was supposed to be a Justicar coming to this town, right?
Well, he left officially after, making a very big mess and wiping an entire clan of Tremere out of the city. There are no Tremere left. Well, that's not true. There are two official Tremere left in the city. One was the former primogen of the Tremere, and she basically ran to the prince and threw herself on the prince's mercy and swore personal fealty to the prince in exchange for her existence.
And the other?
Was an anti-trib member of the Harpies, but he hasn't been seen in 6 months.
I think that's the first place I'm going to start. Let's track down the path of this errant Justicar. After all, I'm here to investigate.
The Justicar? We're looking for the Justicar or the Tremere who's missing? Just so I don't know.
Trying to figure out exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Build up the path of events.
Okay. That's easy. So, I guess the first question that I have to ask is, are you announcing yourself?
It's probably about time, isn't it?
I mean, technically, Newark isn't this city, so you've only been here for a couple hours?
I think it's only fair I go off and introduce myself appropriately, yes.
Hmm. So to the Elysium or the Prince's court? Court. Or through the sheriff?
Let's go to the
Or, excuse me, Scourge.
directly to the prince's court.
Hmm. So, from Penn Station, go walk the blocks, 6, I believe. I'd have to sit and do math quickly. In my head. Cross town, to the 4, 5, and 6. Unless, of course, you take a cab.
Nah, let's walk. I got legs.
Well, I meant because you're going to go uptown. The question is, are you taking the subway or are you going to take a cab?
I have this handy map. It'd be a shame not to use it.
Exactly. And so you can take the 4, 5, and 6, 4 trains express up the Lexington Avenue Express up to 86th Street, or 82nd, yeah, 86th Street, cross back town to 5th Avenue. There is an imposing, statuesque, half-block mansion directly across the street from the Met Museum of Art.
Mm-hmm.
It is brick and columns. On either side stand consulates and one embassy. And the one guy who really stands out on this block is the guy who is actually a plastic surgeon. And you're just like, who are you a plastic surgeon to that you've got half-block mansion money for Upper East Side?
I mean, there's enough celebrities in this town, I
Fair.
guess.
But as you come in and walk by, you feel someone intentionally reveal themselves and stare at you. There is a large gentleman, Dominican, Dominican, which is an important distinction in this city. Dark skin, dark hair. He stands about 6'5", 6'6", broad shoulders. You know he is a vampire. You know he is a older vampire, but you're not sure. There's no visible markings of his clan. There's nothing to give it away. He seems to be wearing the modern interpretation of a livery. You know, a very black on black, well-tailored suit with a little earpiece, and just comes out of the shadows of the doorway, raises an eyebrow, and waits for you. In that intentional way of, does not wish to give the impression that he was attempting to hide his presence from you, and but he knew that you were there and is waiting for you to introduce yourself.
I take the gum out of my mouth and place it behind my ear, and use that same hand to reach out a hand to shake.
He will take your hand. It is gloved, but they're motorcycle gloves, so you can see the knuckles crack underneath his hands. Um, and you see some visible scarring on his hands. That is perhaps of some, you might think either burn, either acid or chemical burn of some sort, but old, very, very old. Um, Even before he was turned, it probably had been a long period of time since that injury occurred. Um, and he will say, I'm Sandor, her ladyship's session. And he pauses like, I am Sandor.
You said that already.
Yes, I really should get her to tell me what my title officially is, but the last time we did that, she joked about just being the introduction, the muscle, and the throne carrier. And then we got to kill a
Amaya.
bunch of Tremere, so it was a good night.
Amayas. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Her ladyship should be expecting me.
Ah, indeed. And he pauses and like taps his ear. And he waits. He sighs, taps it twice again. Yes, Ayaz? Mm hmm.
Yes.
Mm hmm. Mm hmm. Do you have any dietary concerns that we can accommodate in this moment?
Oh, we'll take what you have.
Yeah, no, no. Yeah, all right. Please come in. Uh, mind the. We're redoing the floors again.
Oh, no problem. And he reaches down, slips off his loafers, and carries them in his fingers, like he just got back from a rough night.
Ooh, no, I meant that in a sense. Don't trip over. You want to put those on.
Okay, no problem. And he drops them back.
And as he opens the door, it's this beautiful parquet wood floor with a sweeping staircase that's directly in front of you that kind of swoops up and back directly in front of you. On this one side and the other, there are two large rooms with white colonnade, pressed medallion ceilings. The both the chair rail and the what's the one that goes around the ceiling again?
Crown molding.
Thank you, crown molding. I'm like not the baseboards, but the crown molding. Crown molding is intricately carved and well maintained. This is a building that was built during the golden age, the gilded age, really, and has been maintained since. But he does so, as you look around, you realize he wasn't lying. They have pulled up a bunch of the hardwood floors in the parquet areas in the room to the left and have stacked them all neatly as if they are redoing the floors for some reason. Um, and he leads you to a small wire elevator, or not wire, gated elevator, just to the right of the staircase. Opens it, reaches in and presses the 3 button, and then steps to the side to let you inside.
You're not joining me?
I have to open the door at the top.
Of course. And he steps in.
And then the door closes and the elevator starts to rise, and he goes up the stairs so that when the elevator actually reaches the 3rd floor, he opens the gate for you.
What was the purpose of that? Actually, I'm not gonna ask out loud, but I'm just gonna try and observe this man to see what's happening here.
So I want you to roll a thing.
Sure. I love a thing.
I would like you to roll. What is it? I want to make sure I give you the right. So it is either uh, either intelligence or wits, your choice. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
intelligence or wits, and um, either academics or etiquette. Any combination of that will work.
Just double check with my academics versus my edit. They're both the same. Okay, great. Uh, just because I ignore etiquette doesn't mean I don't understand it.
That's fair.
Okay. What's the first on the list? It's academics. Academics is the one I'm seeing, but it's either. Oh, sorry. Nope. That's ignore that because I left the difficulty at five.
Okay.
And I difficulty is six, right?
Okay, well, hold on. Yeah, difficulty six, but you still have three successes.
Oh, I do.
You can re-roll that 10,
Okay.
though.
Have to.
And
Well,
again. And again. Are you rolling Witcher dice?
I promise. I'm just pressing the button and not.
One, five, six, seven. Seven successes. So there are a couple things you're going to know. Number one, the Prince of New York is a daughter of cacophony.
Okay.
Number two, this actual behavior is a real thing that happened in the 1920s and 30s for staff that would, the requirement to be that the staff would open doors for people, including the elevators. But these small elevators that were put into these large Victorian mansions don't have room for more than one person in the elevator. So it would happen that this particular person is trying to be etiquette correct and show their good manners.
This poor soul. Um,
Also, you, with those seven successes, I will give you two more points of information. Number one, Sandor has been with the Prince of New York. This would be public knowledge by this point. For over 100 years. Um, their his particular clan has never been really easily ascertained. He doesn't exhibit or showcase any particular very obvious clan behaviors, right? Like, but there have been things that have ruled out various others. Like, everyone's pretty sure he's not a Ventru just for, not being an asshole reasons.
mhm.
And he seems, it is long believed that Sandor is effectively the prince's major domo, and also occasionally encourages her in her slightly chaotic decisions, right? Like using storing her personal effects in the Met when they get too large for her mansion, and then perhaps occasionally being like, I want to play with my cannon again, and creating a targeting range for a cannon underneath the streets of New York.
Good lord.
You may ask also three questions if you. I'm going to give you this answer. You may have three questions about either Sandor or the prince for historical knowledge, not necessarily things that were rumors or history or whatever, throughout the rest of this session that you may use based on those seven successes.
Mhm. I'm gonna reserve them on hold for now, but yes, good to know.
But what would he then walks inside, and you can hear music, like actual music. How familiar is Ayaz with various musical styles?
Not too familiar.
Mm-hmm.
he knows his jazz from his R&B, from his blues, but not much more than that.
So what's playing is classical, but you perhaps can differentiate whom is the composer, unless you had a particular love affair with that kind of music earlier in life or
No,
unlife.
no, afraid not. Could be Bach, could be Wagner, could be anybody.
Hmm. Which is sadness because realistically, I personally feel that all vampires should appreciate at some level Italian revenge opera. Wagner you can take or leave, but Italian revenge opera. Just the amount of bloodshed that occurs.
Well, not everyone likes bloodshed. Some people are very neat,
This
as
is
evidenced by the fact that I'm wearing white. It's
true.
it's pretty clear I cannot be a messy eater.
This is also true. This is fair. This is indeed a true statement. With that, then comes a knock. Sandor knocks, raps on the back of the door, um, and you hear the music stop. Come in, come in. Honestly, it's like a thing. Come on in.
Before I do, I just whisper to Sandor, "The word you're looking for is major domo or attaché," and then I go inside.
And he kind of looks at you and like, thanks. And you get the impression he's probably just going to order a bunch of business cards and then, not worry about having her actually approve it. Just this is it's like he's more than a butler. He's not quite a seneschal. It's fine. Also, kind of a bodyguard, maybe. Not really. Um, in this room that has these two beautiful picture bay windows that overlook Fifth Avenue and across at the Met. Um, they both have window seats that are built in uh, with a large baby grand piano oriented towards. So the seat is towards the door, and the actual projection is towards the side of the room. There is a woman who's standing up in front of a large chair. It is not a throne in the technical sense. However, it is a beautifully made green velvet wingback, high back chair that's seated just right, that it doesn't really matter if it's a throne, it's the person who's sitting on it that gives it that gravitas. And she stands in front of it, tall, 6 foot, red hair, laughing kind of eyes, but the laughter that seems to be both knowing and with the hint that it could turn mocking in a moment. She has her head slightly cocked as if she's listening to something that you can't hear. Although perhaps you can.
I think I could.
You want to roll me perception occult?
I'd love to. I'd love to. So, we
Wait, hold
haven't
on.
discussed how. Yeah,
What disciplines do you have? You have Dementation,
us
Auxpex.
dominate. Yeah, those are the three. Perception, not streetwise. Why did I click streetwise? Occult.
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty 6.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna roll that d10, I guess.
Yep.
There we go. Not. It's just 6.
Cool. I have a question.
Yes.
So, you know how in Call of Cthulhu sometimes you shouldn't succeed?
Hmm.
As you're in this room and this beautiful woman in this very tailored suit that's kind of negligently worn, that kind of power that says I can wear this beautifully tailored expensive suit and still not wear it perfectly and still look absolutely gorgeous. And I'm allowed to say that because she's my friend. Um, what happens to Ayaz when, for the first time, he hears the music of creation? The swell of this underlying strings. It's kind of floats somewhere between a cello and a more uh, plucked string instrument of the Far East. Drums that kind of interlay, mixing with both chimes and flutes, wind chimes.
You know how sometimes I love how responding to you with the same sentence.
Yep.
Someone it takes someone mad to understand and appreciate madness.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to tell because when a person walks under a cloud throughout their entire life, you don't really notice the cloud after a while. It just seems like that's how they are. But that's not how Ayaz is right now. The shoulders are thrown back. There's actually a smile upon his face, and he looks taller and stronger than probably anyone alive has ever seen him. It's like the melancholia that he carries around, for a split second, has been shuffled off. In essence, he looks alive.
Mm. And it's obvious to her. And she goes, "You can hear it."
I can hear a lot of things. Stunning, by the way. And
Mm.
it's not in reference to her appearance, it's in reference to the sound.
Oh, yeah. And she just smiles and nods. It's like, "Sandor, bring me another chair. He's all right. He's not one of the crazy ones." Well, not that. I meant more along the lines of people who are going to go bloodthirsty and try and kill me. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay, cool.
Did you actually expect me?
Mm-hmm. You crossed the
Strange.
wards 3 hours ago.
Well, yes. You have, and this is already going very different than he was imagining it was going to go. You have what I'm assuming is second. See, forgot the accent. You have, I assume, Second Inquisition agents in town. You already know that. But here's two of their names, and he slides over the ID cards
Ah,
on a nearby table.
I know just who to send those to. And she'll put them on, like, there's a small little end table right next to her. It's obviously has, like, it looks like it was probably an antique, but there are rings of cups of like cup rings on it. You know, she uses the furniture.
Yeah.
She sits down and kind of lounges in this wingback chair. So, you bring me two names. You come to my city. But the music likes you.
The Justicar causes that much trouble. It raises a few eyebrows.
Hmm. I couldn't kill him. Too many Ventru. Do you know how much of a pain that is?
I would know. It's the same reason it's really hard to kill me.
Hmm. Too many Ventru.
Well, when you tend to kill, I could do what I want today. I mean, when you kill one of the Justicars, no matter who they are, you tend to attract a lot of attention.
Oh, that was you. Right. Sorry.
No, no need to apologize. I didn't like the guy.
No, no, no. I meant usually I pay attention to stuff like that. But it's been, like, complicated. Also, I don't always remember things. And at this point, Sandor has come in and brought another chair. It's a nice leather back chair, kind of like an office, not quite an office chair, but like a leather reading room chair for like a good library, the kind of chair that you can just kind of sink back into with a good book and, perhaps put your feet up and lose the world for like 4 or 5 hours.
Whatever you have would be fine. Something bagged, perfectly capable, if you don't mind, that is. Referring to her.
He just nods and then looks at the prince and goes, "I'm bringing you something healthy," and walks away. It's like, he is such a mother hen, honestly.
Well, I could say something about clan stereotypes, but I feel like I shouldn't.
Me or him? Probably me. It's okay. I kind of. The question of, is it a stereotype if you said it? Hmm.
I wouldn't know. I'm crazy.
Oh, we're all crazy. Welcome to the city of crazies. So, are you by yourself, or have certain other interests decided to see if they can sneak their way into New York again?
Not to my knowledge. I'm here on my own. I mean, well, not entirely on my own. People know where I am.
Mm.
This was officially sanctioned, of course, Ivory Tower and all that, but I'm here on my own.
Mm.
And I intend not to cause any trouble. I'm just going to investigate what happened, see if something needs to be done about our errand Justicar. Or, forgive me, your ladyship, you.
Mm. I mean, I think we responded appropriately. The Tremere turned to Giovanni in my city and tried to steal a bunch of land. They died.
As is typical. They're Tremere.
And
Sorry, I shouldn't say that.
mm, they're occasionally useful. And then they tried to sell a bunch of land to the Sabat, so a Justicar came in. He tried to play. I won. But feel free to smirk around in my city, at least for now. I'm going to be intrigued.
Let me put it this way. I'm not a power player. I know a lot of people think that I should be or have ideas about who I am. No, I just like puzzles, putting
Mm.
pieces together, understanding what happens and how. So I have this broken puzzle.
Mm.
I have a good amount of detail, right? I mean, after all, Jessica comes into town and Giovanni gets turned, yada yada, land possibly sold to the Sabat. Weird, by the way.
Not that
I have
weird.
that puzzle. Eh, it is when you understand what the Sabat really are.
Hmm.
I don't like them. Never have.
No one does. Well, no one does. No, it was pretty straightforward. They tried to pull up
But see,
Crassus, and they got dead.
I have this Justicar. I have this Justicar, a bit of an asshole, no doubt about it. Comes
Well,
into town,
there.
causes more mess than he has in, from what I understand, centuries. Leaves and doesn't check in.
Hmm. Well, officially he left 5 years ago, so I have no bloody clue where he is.
These things take time.
Hmm.
And I'm not interested in chasing him down. I'm trying to understand the man himself. That's all. If you want me to help out while I'm here, I sure I could, but I'm not the kind of guy who's interested in making a power play or changing how the city works. I mean, after all, as far as I understand, you're doing an admirable job, especially considering how utterly baffling the city seems to be compared to others. I mean, this is more of a mess than Toronto, but you handle it well. I'm just here to figure out what exactly happened to that man, and then eventually track him down, and then my job ends. And I go home to wherever I go home to, and you never have to hear from me again. If you don't want to. I should say, you're really easy to talk to.
It's a skill.
No, it's not.
Oh, it is.
It's something else. I'm well for most people, but for you, oh, there's something else too. It doesn't take. Not just anyone can get me to be that forthright, or want me to want to be that forthright.
I am going to share a little secret. Little one.
Mm,
Teeny tiny. Itty bitty secret.
hit me.
I'm over it. I rule this city the way he taught me. And she kind of like points over her shoulder, and there's a map of an antique, brilliantly antique, somewhere between the 14th, late 14th, early 15th century map of London, framed in a simple gilded gold frame. Over her left shoulder, and next to it, there's a picture, a portrait of a map, hand drawn, older, labeled with the town of Colchester. And you overwritten on this map, not on the actual map itself, but on like a piece of glass on top of the map, this map, hand drawn map of Colchester, is a smiley face and a heart around the city. I get to do what I want because at the end of the day, can't do shit. I am in the city where the UN comes, which means I can't turn away the Sabbat. I have mages sleeping in active subway tunnels protesting expansions of gentrification. It's not gentrification, by the way. Right now, what they're protesting isn't gentrification. There should be protesting actual gentrification. I mean, God, they should go up to Harlem. But no, you won't see any of them anywhere, any of actual interest of gentrification, because they're all bought and paid for by Blackstone. But that's an entirely separate issue. I have 4 known fae somewhere in the city limits of New York. And I had somebody try and tell me the other day that I should let the wolves loose from their vow because it would be morally right. Fuck all of them. I rule this city the way I want because at the end of the day, the music tells me what to do. And I think about things in a way that means that I know what will happen but won't happen at the same time. Because if I know what will happen, then it will not happen because I'll make sure that it doesn't happen. It's very stressful.
I can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So, do me a favor. Read me.
Read you? In what
Sure.
way?
What do you think is going to happen? What do you think should happen? What would you want me to do?
Mm.
I mean, you know my situation. Tell me yours.
She'll lean forward, and I shouldn't do that because that's going to hurt in a minute. do not. For world of warning, if you get too comfortable into a character and you go to lean forward and brace your arm on your other arm that has a cast on it, don't do that.
No.
That's bad. You are fun. You look at the rest of us and you see the darkness. You see the night. You see the care. You see the blood, the evisceration, the occasional love to scream at your enemies and swing a sword through them, decapitating them and rolling their heads down back to their foes. Oh, sorry. But you don't want to do that. You want to walk the line, but you don't want to be one of them, the kind. You're above them. You're separate from them. But you don't think you're above and separate from us, although you do think you're separate from us. You think there's a break. The truth is, at the end of the day, we are all monsters of our own making. Or the one who made us. One of the two. Usually, I mean, let's be honest, how many vampires have you met who have had mommy/daddy issues?
Oh, so many.
All of them. And really, the ones who last are the ones who get through it, who overcome that, who look through and understand that we are all unique and we are just part of the eternal cycle of the planet. There are predators, there are prey, there are checks and balances, but nature abhors a vacuum. And I think you're here to see what will happen because nature abhors a vacuum.
That summit you held the other day. You attract a lot of attention. I mean, this city has always attracted a lot of attention. Really, it has. Not always the good kind. I'm
Mm.
not saying this because I'm out to get you, to be clear. I wouldn't say this if I was actually out to get you. I'd just take you out. I'm a lot more dangerous than I look.
I'm
But,
sure you are.
well, we
That's
all are. It's the beauty of us, right? We can talk, civilized, in very cushy chairs,
they are very cushy.
drink some tea or blood or what have you, gab on at each other like we're playing chess, and then one of us could lose it and strike out the other, rending limb from limb. Or worse, call in a gang of who knows what to do the same. Anyway, I got beside myself. What I'm saying is, you've attracted a lot of attention. Some of it good, obviously. Some of it very, very bad. Consider me an auditor. That's it. And as for being separate, you're right. I do think of myself as separate, but not different. Just, I don't wish anybody harm. I'm not that kind of guy. Never was. Honestly, I got turned because I did the right thing at the wrong time. It's typical. I don't have the same kind of daddy issues or mommy issues to worry about. I don't have someone knocking on my door. If I go missing, that's different, obviously. We all attract attention after all the last one went missing. But you're right, nature pours a vacuum. And it is a strange vacuum, New York City. It's a vacuum that's full to the brim of lint and dust and who knows what, and yet somehow it's still empty. It's so empty here. There's always something missing, which is the beauty of it, I guess. But it attracts attention.
She'll smirk at that, at the thought that the city is empty. And can I get another perception
Yeah.
occult?
I'm just digging my own grave. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Would would having Auspex help in this situation?
Mm, how would you use it? Because this is about perceiving something occult. So, in technically, I guess you could use Auspex.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
Hmm.
think, look, there's this connection to the world that we've already established here. I've
Yes.
heard that music,
Yes.
and I'm going to tune into it a bit further because it's speaking to her right now. I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try and intercept the message.
Okay. So, which. So, with Auspex, you have how many die? Or how many dots?
Just the one.
Just the one?
Just the one.
All right. So, go ahead and take the difficulty from 7 to 6.
7 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single. Well,
You can re-roll the 10 though, and save yourself.
no, I cannot.
But at least it's not botched.
At least it's not launched. This is true.
You just didn't succeed. Reminder, of course, that you can always spend willpower to get an automatic success if you wish.
I think in this case it does seem worth it, doesn't it?
Okay, so you can
Uh,
spend 1 willpower to get an automatic success. In that case, you get 1 success, which is a partial success. So you tune back in to listen. And you realize something. You now know what the frequency is. You do. You know that frequency to hear the music of the universe. But you have a problem. You're not a daughter of that cacophony. What you are is a Malkavian. And so you turn back into that frequency, but you don't have any limiters on it. You have no filters whatsoever. So you hear all of it. And the term cacophony suddenly makes sense. It is, best comparison, the sound of 90s R&B bursting out of the subwoofers of a 1992 Honda Civic that's been beat to shit as you stand next to it on the street corner in Times Square with individuals shouting to be overheard, customers yelling, people trying to gain your attention. You hear the sounds of music coming from various other places around the city, and you can hear pieces and parts and know that it exists, but you can't focus on it right now. However, by spending that one willpower, it does not incapacitate you.
Well, that's good.
You know, you just,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, well, that's special.
Yeah, he's gonna cross his legs and just lean back into the chair for a little bit. Kind of enjoy getting lost, but keeping eye contact.
Mm-hmm. So, I can give you the last known address of that particular Justiciar if that's what you wish to do.
I'd appreciate it. I can also offer trying to find that errant Tremere that you're looking for. You know, the one out of two who lived.
I mean, to be fair, the other one's technically in this building, in a general sense.
Sure.
Well, I mean,
Beautiful, by the way. 1880s, right?
87. But yes, correct. I did enjoy buying it off of the Astors. They were assholes.
It did seem like it.
Mm-hmm. Do you need a sword? I can loan you 6.
Not right now. I don't like getting into fights.
That's fair.
Like I said,
Well,
I'm not really a big kind of guy. You want a gangrel for that.
oh, I've got one of those. He's very good at it. Do you know that the last one of the Elysiums I held, I actually let him fight. Somebody challenged him. It was awkward. I was like, ooh, Ruha, you're going to challenge him? Go right ahead and challenge him. It'll be fine. And then he beautifully ripped his lower jaw off.
I would like to ask you a question.
Sure.
I've been in contact with princes and the likes all across
Mm-hmm.
the beautiful ivory tower that we got. Here's a here's a question. What's the most impressive thing that she is known for?
Mm.
When they talk about her in circles, whether out of fear or respect, they mention one specific thing over and over. What is that?
Well, it has never been officially confirmed, but every time it's come up in his presence, Mithras just smirks and looks knowingly. But then again, he smirks and looks knowingly at a lot of things. It's kind of his shtick. But in this particular instance, it's a little more of the I know and you don't, and I was there, it was great situation. It is rumored that this 6 foot tall redhead woman who is just the slightest bit bloodthirsty. Well, her name in public circles is Maeve. But her title, cognomen, what history likes to call her frequently, or at least reference, is Bodicea. So when she mentioned cutting her opponent's heads off and rolling them into camp, she was perhaps referencing a specific event where perhaps it may or may not have been her and a group of other women warriors of the Picts who massacred a Roman legion patrol and literally rolled their heads back into the Roman camp. She is referenced frequently with that story,
Mm-hmm.
to the point that it is generally accepted that the event probably happened, but the history of Bodicea is, as we know it, is wrong. But she is never said one way or the other, or at least not in recent centuries that anyone can remember, and Mithras just likes to laugh about it. Particularly when a bunch of French Ventrue try and claim that they should, take over New York because Ventrue should rule, supposedly. Although that might also be because, that personal connection he has with her. So, how much is it his own power and control versus other things?
If I could drop the job for a second.
Sure. I like that. As she kind of hands you the glass that Sandor had put down.
Thanks. He nurses it for a split second.
Mm-hmm.
I know that as much as I might make threats or suggest that well, I'll be missed. At the end of the day, I'm just a Malkavian, right? If I go missing, oh, some other Justicar is going to come around sniffing the same trail, but not too many people will ask questions. I know at the end of the day that you're probably, if we were to go head to head, be a victorious woman. But I want to make it clear that I really don't have anything against you. And I'm not interested in, interested, yes. I'm not interested in targeting you. I don't know what the last Justicar did. I don't know his motives, what he sounded like. I mean, I've heard his voice, but I mean, what he said to you. I don't know any of that. I don't even know what he was trying to investigate. He didn't say. But I don't want to make an enemy of you.
Good. We can be friends. I like friends.
Also, are the rumors true?
Which ones,
you
dear?
You have to tell me. Oh, you know the one. The one that everyone says. Behind closed doors, when they're a bit too afraid of you, especially to the French.
I mean, I totally didn't intend to use a cannon on that particular city, but it made the most sense at the time.
I just want to know that when Mithras makes that knowing smile, that he's not just making shit up.
Oh, no. Always assume that Mithras is never making shit up.
There's some times when he does make shit up. Specifically when he talks about that boyfriend of his.
Oh, no, the boyfriend is real. So is
technically
technically
no, I know the boyfriend is real.
Girlfriend.
But sometimes he denies it.
Oh, no, he doesn't. Well, that's not. It's complicated because every time he denies it, they're not actually together at the time, which is how he gets around it.
Oh, sure. As if he isn't sweet on him the entire time.
Yeah, so there's this whole thing there. I mean, like, Veronique has been this. Did Veronique tell you that she was going to be in the city? Probably not. Veronique does that all the time. Veronique Montbéliard, by the way, is a well-known Ventrue. She somehow managed to gain the title of Tribune officially within Ventrue circles. She's a fixer, and she is part of a small coterie of the woman she calls her sister, which is a anti-trib La Sombre, called Sophia, what's her name? Sophia de Veronis, and a Toreador named Isaiah. Isaiah and Sophia have been blood bonded for centuries. And Veronique, when she's not fixing things for the tower, acts as Mithras's personal chatelaine, his hostess. And people are like, well, are you having a scandalous affair with her? And she just kind of looks at them like, what would be scandalous about it? But she is known because she is a woman who is turned by a Ventrue and was a courtier of Louis XIV. And is well known for embracing both soft power for women, that manipulation of that kind of sort, and control in a court setting. And also, you know, having a coterie bond with an anti-trib Tremere and strong enough dominate skills taught to her by her, Mithras, um, she's known in certain circles who can break a vampire mentally.
Wouldn't be the first.
No, but she's like, but honestly, Veronique was in town the whole time. It was very interesting. I think she got more offended at the Justicar than I did.
You think she might take an offense to me?
No, you're fine. Honestly, it was the very Ventru Justicar. He came in. He was like, "I rule the world. You should believe in me. I will set you free."
God.
Also, he's a misogynistic asshole. So I figure he definitely didn't win any points with her.
To be fair, he's always been. Sorry, he was always like that.
Well, I don't know that he's dead. Well, any more than he was when he came in. It's possible he was more dead than him. I don't know. I try not to pay attention. He's no longer my. Well, apparently he is now a problem. Sandor, add CAD file to the list of problems. And then put Aya's as the solution to the CAD file problem. There you go.
Okay. Well, while I'm in town, I would love that address. I would also, as Justicar, require your assistance in blah 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 blah. Wouldn't happen to have a spare haven lying about, would you? Because I'm staying in this motel out in the middle of nowhere, and it sucks.
Where did. You didn't come through. You came through Jersey. And like there's a. East side or west side?
Your choice.
Sandor, Sandor, bring me the realty, the real estate, a real estate one, yeah, yeah. Do we something nice? Yeah, he's not an asshole. No, I like him.
Why does everyone think I'm an asshole?
No. Justicars are just usually assholes in my experience.
It's true.
But you're not, which is great.
I do cause problems. Ask too many questions, that kind of thing.
I mean, I like people who ask questions. That means I get to tell them answers. And sometimes I get to see their face when I find out the answers. But, yeah, oh, great. 92 East 72nd Street.
Thank you so much. Is that his address or mine?
That's yours.
Thanks.
Well, yeah, I don't know where I can find his out. I have that. Bring him the thing. Also bring him Dentrell's thing. Yeah. You said you want to look for a missing Tremere harpy?
I'll have to. While I'm here.
And Sandor comes back in with an actual attaché case, right? Like a little envelope, little briefcase with little leather handles, has a zipper. And you open it, there's file folders on the inside, very neatly organized. One says asshole Justicar. One says Justicar who's halfway cool. Last one says Dantrell missing ? Or just hiding ? Maybe really really dead ? Have a nice time.
That's a lot of question marks. Yep, of course. I suppose this goes without saying, but please don't make my job harder.
Of course not.
Yeah, well, especially considering your last experience with a Justicar. I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of people smile to your face and stab you in the back.
Yeah. I should just tell you that if I'm going to stab you, I'm going to stab you in the front. But stabbing takes too much effort. It's a lot easier to decapitate someone. Much more effective, too. Almost nothing is immune to decapitation.
It's true. Strange question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have any daughters?
Complicated answer. Don't need to know.
I should head out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one more thing. They were planning on sending a TAC team to Penn Station because someone made them look down a surface tunnel that nothing was occurring
Mm.
in. Those two, I mean.
Oh, that's. And she kind of looks, and Sandor nods and is like, "Oh, that's already been dealt with. But thank you."
Of course. No need to hide things.
Nope.
And he starts heading out, and then he turns around and says, "Oh, right, of course. I'm so bad at that." And bows and says, "You're late as shit,"
Mm.
before heading out.
You don't have to do that. I like you.
Well, keeping things formal does encourage distance, and I do keep myself apart, right?
Mm.
And he winks.
Um, Sandor will show you back to the elevator. Again, open it, press the buttons for you, close it, meet you at the bottom of the elevator on the parlor floor, let you out. And as you go to leave, we'll also hand you a small bag, just like a leatherette banker's bag, right? Um, dead drop phone that's in will work with the Omni system for the subway. Official clearance to get you around the multiple cameras that are everywhere. Uh, a bank card drawn on Chase Manhattan. Feel free to fuck with them. They're currently on the shit list. Oh, yeah. If you require any additional protective gear, weaponry, or blessings, please let us know. Magical
No
wards are
problem.
also available for those who require them.
I should be okay. Uh, there's a woman I was told. I forget what her name is. Hold on, I have my notes somewhere. Do 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 do. No, 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 no. Veronique
Mm-hmm.
Venture, right? Not a fan of the last one.
Veronique Montbéliard doesn't like it when men try and claim that she's weaker because she's a woman.
Noted. I would love to know where she's calling home these days.
Don't know
Maybe
that
she
she's in the city at the moment.
darn. You hear out. You got me a phone, so.
Hmm.
Also, just so we're aware, and he pulls out an FBI badge that
Mm-hmm.
has his name attached. I have an alternate identity,
Mm-hmm.
just in case any trouble should come along. Dead FBI agent, that's probably me.
All right.
Thanks. Oh, last guy. Real tall, been true, jerk. Anyone not a fan of him?
Everyone. He also tried to make Jessica Pearson wait on him. She's the primogen of this city.
The venture one, right?
Yes.
He rifles through a small notepad. That doesn't seem like a smart plan.
Jessica's patient. She wouldn't do
No one's
anything.
that patient.
Hmm?
No one is that patient. I've met the man.
She's also very good at delegating.
And Sandor,
Yes.
little secret. Technically speaking, a prince can call a right of destruction at any time. When was the last time that happened around here?
That's not a secret. That was public and messy.
Were there any secret destruction rights that I should know about?
Secret or private? Those are different.
Either or. I'm not picky.
Private? Eckhard Stein.
Eckhard Stein. Not in my notes.
Gangrel from Vienna. Although, to be
What's he doing
fair,
here?
that's not his actual name.
Well, I would hope not, otherwise his parents really hated him. What is a Gangrel from Vienna doing here?
It's messy,
That seems to be a common thread.
and that's where we're going to take the break for right now. We'll come back and find out if you get the answer on Eckhart Stein, because that is such a good answer to give. But we're going to stretch, refresh, bio, do all of those things, and remind you that we are still raising money for Fisher House Foundation charities. They provide care, housing, and support for veterans and their families, while veterans or members of their family undergo medical treatment across the country and across the world. No one ever pays to stay at a Fisher House. They're beautifully wonderful things that help the service members and their families when necessary. I'm going to be a little emotional in a minute and say the first Fisher House that opened about 30 years ago, luckily I and no one in my immediate family ever had to deal with that, even when my dad was active duty. However, a very good friend of ours was one of the, when I was growing up, last duty station, his parents were Coast Guard officers, and he was diagnosed with child brain cancer before the age of 5. He was one of the first children to be allowed, and one of the first people to use a Fisher House, and they cared for him so well. They are absolutely wonderful people who do a lot of really great work for those who really can't afford it otherwise. So, if you can donate, we'd appreciate it. If not, share the link around. Also, I just want to put out there that right now, for the first time in probably forever, Coast Guard is winning something. The United States Coast Guard is winning the Battle of the Branches. And the redheaded stepchild will actually see this through, at least until, Tuesday and Army wakes up. But if you can, donate, feel free. If you can't, please just share a link around. We really appreciate it. And I'm just going to say that perhaps this, random Justiciar who came into New York might need some additional help if he keeps poking
a lot
things.
of questions and a lot of trouble that I'm digging myself into. So anything you could do.
Yeah, exactly. He keeps poking. It could be bad. So we're going to take a break, stretch, refresh, bio. I'm going to run the ad break just to make sure we can turn off all of those pre-rolls while we're here. And we'll see you in a few. everyone. Welcome back. We hope you're refreshed, you stretched, you bio, you did all the good stuff, and are ready to donate because this Justicar has asked a question. And that question was, who was Eckhard Stein? And Sandor gives you the short answer. Eckhard Stein was the asshole sire of one Sid Zimmerman. And for his many sins, he was already going to be destroyed. But Her Highness gifted his destruction to his childer as a reward for his service to the city.
What the fuck has been happening here?
Welcome to New York. Now, admittedly, he had a small problem with kidnapping people in very public ways. But you know, he hasn't been seen in 5 years, and I'm quite sure Sid violently removed his existence from the, planet.
Wait, 5 years?
Hmm?
So this guy gets the right of destruction called upon him the same time the previous Justicar disappears?
Well, to be fair, the previous Justicar was busy destroying an entire clan of Tremere.
Yeah, but did he leave town around the same time this Eckhart Stein was never heard from again?
Yes, but we know Eckhart Stein was dead. Well, if he's not actively dead, then Sid is just enjoying torturing his sire by keeping him in torpor in the basement. That one I saw the body on.
Uh-huh. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
How often do Justicars wander through New York?
Wander or make their presence known?
Either or.
They keep trying to sneak around. Doesn't end well for the ones that do. You're polite.
Well, to be fair, I wanted to get a feel for the city first before I introduced myself. That's why it took 3 hours. Also, the train got delayed.
Well, that was because it was a path train.
Yeah, I wouldn't understand that.
It's Jersey Transit.
Jersey isn't so bad.
It's a literal dump. The only good things that come out of Jersey are, in order, Bruce Springsteen, The Sopranos, and MetLife Stadium. Or not MetLife Stadium, Giant Stadium.
I saw a lot of leopard print. That's fun. Okay. I'm gonna head out. Thanks for the tip. Oh, could you do me a favor? Big favor. Could you call up your little venture Primogen and let them know I'm in town?
All Primogen were already contacted about your presence. So was the Scourge and the Chief of Sheriffs.
So I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of weird calls. Little call-upons. Do they know why I'm here or just that I'm here?
That you are busy doing important work, and if they have any questions, they can direct them towards the appropriate vestige of Her Grace's court.
Okay. That venture Primogen, though. Whereabouts is she?
Today, he'll take out his phone and kind of flip through it. Downtown. 120 Wall Street.
Great. Manhattan. Thanks.
I mean, you're in Manhattan.
Yeah, I know. I'm putting the puzzle pieces together in my head.
It's fun. Don't get more dead.
That's kind of hard to do, but I'll do my best.
He just kind of closes the door behind you. So,
That's fine.
where do you wish to go? Uptown, downtown?
I think I have a lead, or at least someone that he tried to order about enough. Give me an idea of who he was, especially if he tried to order her about. They tend to people reveal things to people they treat like the help. You know?
Yeah. And I mean, he was Venture, so he was going to have that problem anyways as a misogynistic dick, but it does say something that he is a very English Ventrue trying to order around a beautiful black woman.
Yeah. Some people miss the old days a bit too much. While I think this time I do get a taxi. Uh,
It's
but
late
while
enough
I'm
that
at
the majority of the traffic is cleared, so
yeah,
it's not unwise to take a taxi downtown.
uh, while I'm in it, I'm just gonna quickly run through these files. Is there anything notable in them? I mean, I imagine one of them is just me,
Mm-hmm.
the one who's yeah. So
And the one with
mm,
you for you is just a basic bio breakdown on who you are, kind of standard stuff that you would expect any competent court to keep on any of the Justicars, right? Like, there are a couple notes in the margins that make comment about your dress sense. Um, Not negative, but in a questioning way. It's like I couldn't. It's that I can appreciate the fact that it obviously means that he's very neat eater, but how do you keep that much white when you're walking through a city and just slush and sand and oil and all this? And it's a very New Yorkers take on people who, like there's a very New York mentality when it comes to fashion. Yes, there is very high fashion and all of that, but there's also a slightly practical level of because this is the city of women wearing tennis shoes with business suits until they get to the office and then change into their Jimmy Choos or their Louis Vuittons for the whole day, and then back into tennis shoes so you don't get your heel caught in a subway grate, right? Like
yeah.
there's fashion and then there's practicality.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, the other one was the file on CAD file.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of negative comments about him and lots of rumors about him from other vampires in the city, lower level vampires, you know, younglings, people that you wouldn't expect for a prince to even worry about gaining their opinion upon, right? There's notes from the Primogen about how he was rude, unpersonable. He's efficient in his duties. He took care of this Tremere problem of basically inciting a fight with the by going to the church to sick them on the Sabbat after the Sabbat had used the kind politics of the health and safety, fire marshals, those kind of people, to shut down vampire owned properties, or in this case, Tremere owned properties, among other clans in the city, and force them to get sold that the Sabbat then bought, specifically Yaphet Kodo. So it was a good runaround, and the two groups trying to use agents against each other, and Cadfile basically came in and did a mass murder, an aggressive mass murder. Um, but a lot of notes about his unpersonableness, his there's a lot of asshole commentary about him. Um, and then the third file, I'm totally blanking what the third file was. I have it in my notes. Hold on. What is it?
Our missing Tremere.
Yeah, Dantrell.
Her pal.
Dantrell. What is his name? Uh, Dantrell Butler. Um, a Tremere anti-trib from the Bronx. General biographical information turned during the Harlem Renaissance. Known for being a very engaged supporter of a variety of black jazz clubs during the teens and 20s. Um, the cane, notes about the cane not being an affectation, it has to do with an unfortunate injury to his leg before he was turned that was never healed correctly. Um, he acted as a harpy for the Bronx for decades. Um, his own um, own things, he basically acted as like the captain, like a under sheriff, right? So he worked with the Harpies and acted as an under sheriff in the Bronx. Generally well liked, was known for sitting, would had a permanent seat at the bar at Ventrese Powell's place. And Ventrese Powell, so the city of New York is massive, right? Each of the boroughs themselves are their own kind of city and their own kind of attitude. And within that, there is the official Elysium that would be granted by the prince and the court and would be, the official Elysium. But there was also these kind of other public gathering places, well, not officially Elysium, kind of unofficial Elysiums in each of the boroughs. And they all had their own kind of harpy who maintained the place, but also, like all harpies do, they trade in secrets, bonds, promises, and may or may not be reporting everything to the prince, anyways.
Is Ventrese Powell's place still an unofficial Elysium?
Yes.
Is there notes about that? And is there a new harpy assigned to it?
No, she's still. Ventrese is still there. Dantrell is the
Okay.
only one who's missing.
Dentrell was a harpy, but not the harpy of this specific Elysium.
Dantrell acted as a harpy outside of this city. His official title in the city was as a under captain to the sheriff, but in the city outside it, in the outer burbs,
Gotcha.
Westchester areas, he was known to take the train, go up out of town, come back, but he was a staple at Ventrese's place, and he hasn't been seen in months.
Gotcha. Favorite haunt. Good place to go.
So going downtown or uptown?
Pearson's place. That's
Downtown,
right? Yeah.
So the address given is 120 Wall Street. It is not an apartment building. It is an office building.
Expected that.
And it is a large World War II, 1930s World War II era, first floor, second floor kind of outer building, heavy tile, gilt work. The outer shell of the building has been rebuilt. A lot of effort went into redoing this after 9/11, particularly because all the buildings south of in Wall Street in the area down there took massive damage. But when they rebuilt, they kept a lot of the charm, the architecture, and 120 Wall Street has its own subway stop for the Wall Street station.
Very central.
Mm-hmm.
How nice.
Mm-hmm. Because can be for the Wall Street station can be both the 1, 2, 3, the red line up the west side, or the 4 and 5 green line up the east side. Very effective. A quick look at the just general information you have on the Primogen. She keeps a office for her company on both the 32nd and 35th floors. There is officially no owner or lease for the 34th floor.
I see. Roll the dice. I say she's feeling on top of the world right now. 35. And he presses the 35 button.
35th floor. I have a question.
Sure.
Could you roll me perception occult?
That's always worked out so well for me. So of course I will. I'm so excited.
I mean, the first time it
Perception.
did.
What's my difficulty, friend?
6.
4 successes.
Which a 10 with
Oh,
you.
and yep, 5 successes.
5 successes. Um, you push the button for the 35th floor, and your eyes glaze over for a second, and then you stop, and then you look, and you realize, oh, this is an old New York building. There is no 13th floor. But there's this moment where there's a distortion about whether there was a 13th floor or not. And you realize that that muzak sound isn't actually elevator music, it's just in your head.
Great. What a good day.
You're the one
Lovely
that
night.
wanted to try and listen to the sound of the universe.
It's a lovely sound.
It is. Very nice.
But it's good to know it's still in my ears because that does change how I interact with people.
Mm-hmm. It is still in your ears. It's probably not going to go away for a while.
Yeah, it's fine. He takes the gum from behind his ear and returns to chewing it.
Okay, yeah, that's. Mm-hmm.
Kind of gross.
And it's the fact that it's dried. Right, like just given the amount of time it takes to get anywhere in New York, you're going from 85th Street down to 100 to Wall Street. Like that's dried.
Yeah, but it still has a bit of that minty, just a little bit,
Just a
of that
little
minty
bit,
flavor.
just a little bit. You make your way to the 35th floor. There is it. Elevator opens. There's a large reception desk, glass paneled, frosted doors on both the right and the left. Very obvious, like landing zone in a high-rise building. Elevator opens onto the reception, bathrooms on either side, and then the actual spaces that for this floor are on either side. But there's a woman sitting at the reception desk, youngish appearing, somewhere in that indeterminate age between 25 and 30, right? And neatly coiffed, brown hair, brown eyes, glasses, stylishly dressed but not high fashion suit, power suit, kind of off the rack but was tailored. She technically has a heartbeat.
Technically.
Well, I mean, ghouls do have heartbeats.
Well. Hi, I'm Special Agent Madani. Hold on.
Special Agent Honey?
Madani.
Oh, Madani.
Madani.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear you correctly. There's been this buzzing in my ear all day.
That's so strange.
Right?
Buzzing, you say?
Yeah.
Could I do a little? Is she hearing what I'm hearing?
You can roll me perception awareness.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. Everything's fine. Awareness. Oh.
4.
There's 3 10s?
Mm-hmm.
Well.
You get to re-roll all of them. 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
Re-roll those two. 7, 8. Hi. Welcome to High Rolling and Vampire. She's listening to something that is also occult or supernatural in nature, but it's not what you're hearing. You may ask me 3 questions.
Can I tell what the source of this thing is?
Something physically in this space. You would have to, I would give you advantage on looking for it, but you'd have to actually physically look for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Advantaged. Uh, okay, two more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get the sense that it was placed here officially, i.e., by Pearson or one of their associates, or is
You
this an
get, based
outside
on just what
force?
she said, that it's not normal. If it
Normal.
was officially placed here, it wasn't. It's not something that's usually been placed here.
And she's a ghoul, so she would know.
Yeah, and she's the night receptionist ghoul for a primogen, right? Like,
What is the sound meant to do?
it is that level of white noise that is both distracting and disorienting. But if you can hear through it, i.e., have more powerful senses than a base human,
Mm-hmm.
you would not necessarily be affected by it.
So it's meant to fuck with humans.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Could be you have some sort of transmitter in here. Uh, have anyone strange come through recently?
Um, Strange? No. Everyone was verified, everything, and had IDs. Um, and she had taken your ID and actually looked at it, right? Like actually inspected
Yep.
it, made sure it was real, and did it in a way that said that inspecting law enforcement ID is not uncommon to her, right? Knew to check for like the very obvious tells of a fake ID, and some of the less obvious tells. Yours is fine. Yours is official ID. It's just that the identity of who it's tied to is complicated.
Yeah, of course. Uh, this sounded. Was it here already when you arrived for work, or was it? Did it arrive sometime during your shift? Can you remember?
Um, it wasn't here when I arrived. I cleaned and swept the place. Miss Pearson is very particular about ensuring safety of our guests and her clientele. As such, we maintain a vigorous security process, um, and as a reputable law firm in the city, we ensure we are very strong against audio recordings of any sort.
Of course. Sweep for bugs regularly. When was the last time you did a sweep?
This morning when I arrived,
And that was before the noise.
yes.
Hmm. I am actually going to conduct a physical search.
Okay. So go ahead, add +2 to your modifier,
Of
and
course.
roll with a DC 6.
And what exactly would you like me to roll? Just perception awareness?
Perception awareness or perception investigation.
Yeah. Let's do investigation. I mean, it's the same roll anyway, but just for fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Investigation, modifier, 2, no wound penalties.
2 successes.
Oh, and I got a d10 to roll. Just 2.
I will give you this. You do not find any electronic bugs.
I didn't expect so. You asked me to roll a cult. I just told her that.
You also don't find any obvious occult ritual paraphernalia, right? Like you don't find any bowls of random incense that doesn't make any sense. You don't find any flower arrangements that seem sketch. There are no candles that are suddenly burning in places that they shouldn't be.
Hmm. There any open areas nearby your offices? Stairwells, hidden entrances, that kind of thing.
Oh, we're oh, and she kind of looks
Mm.
at you and takes that moment, and looks at the other. Sorry, we're a pre-war tower. All the stairwells are center.
Yeah. When
And
was the last time you had your windows washed?
I'm sorry, hold on. And she actually has to go and look at that because she usually that's done during the day. She doesn't necessarily know the answer to that. She'll say that it was a week ago, which was a part
Ooh.
of their schedule, right? Like they're on schedule and they were on time.
You can tell your boss that I'm here, by the way.
I
She'll
already did,
probably be
but sorry.
expecting me to. Was she expecting me?
Yes, sir.
Knew it. I would. Well, number one, I would maybe get another washer out here, just in case there's something on the walls outside that's interfering with your hearing. But I'll take a look around at some point once I talk to your boss
Thank you, sir.
properly. I
I'll
mean,
definitely take care of that. Thank you
mm.
again. Please come right this way.
When you
Excuse.
talk about, it, is it like a buzzing? Is it like a zzz, or is it more like like a high pitched sort of sound?
She pauses. It's like the lights are too loud.
That's not good. That's really bad. How about this? You got someone else to cover the desk?
I can get someone. Yes.
Great. Go get a coffee or walk around, or I don't know what's open this time of night. Go outside the building, take a look around, ask yourself if you hear the sound, come back up. If you still hear the sound, let me know. If you don't, well, um, we've got other things to worry about.
Of course, sir. Please, right this way. And she'll lead you to the right through the glass doors, past a couple obvious offices. There's a bullpen of uh, cubicles, but for the most part, the number of offices with closed doors, to the actual literal corner office. There's a small reception area. There's another woman. This time she's more Latina looking, similar age demographic. You're pretty sure she's also a ghoul. Um, and it's like, of course, right this way. And she looks at the other girl. Uh, there's a brief nod, and she walks back. She's already texting on her phone. You're pretty sure she's getting some sort of coverage so she can do your exit experiment for you.
Hi, quick question. Are the lights too loud?
Um, yes, actually.
I thought you were going to say that. Hmm. Thanks.
Please, Miss Pearson, your guest is here. Send him in. Of course. And she opens the door, just kind of nods you in, not bowing you or anything. It's like, not that. It's just that, like, nice, polite, and there you go, and closes the door behind you.
You must be Miss Pearson.
Hmm.
Can
You
we
must,
speak freely here?
and you must be our Justicar.
I know that you weren't a fan of the last one.
Usually not. Fan of people who try to treat me like shit.
Well, I'm not the kind. Or
No,
the kind.
no, you're not.
See, rumor already gets around. Do you know that your employees are finding the lights to be too loud? Figuratively?
No, I hadn't. They hadn't told me that. And then you hear a
Well, that's
light
because they
ding of the phone on her desk. Oh, well, they decided to tell me now.
It's probably because I scared them a little bit. And they're more scared of it now than they are scared of you. And they're pretty scared of you.
Not usually scared of me.
Not really frightened, more like awed.
Hmm, that's fair. So, as she kind of leans back in this very stunning, well cut, well tailored fuchsia and silver suit. Face claim Gina Torres in suits.
I saw.
I'm just telling people at home.
All right, I can do this the normal way and ask you a bunch of questions and really kind of bore you to death, or you can just tell me what you think I need to know.
Two things right off the bat. No, I didn't kill him. Yes, I'm happy that he's no longer around.
That seems to be the running thread. I'm not surprised. I didn't like the guy particularly, but people go missing. We ask questions, that kind of thing.
Mm.
Also, the last time a Justiciar was in this town, a whole clan got axed.
Well, he was involved with it.
I know, but it raises panic. Not
There's
the
that.
loud panic, the quiet kind of panic.
Mm.
And with
So
the
you
summit
want to
being
know
in the
more
city tonight,
questions? And she kind of leans back in her chair.
well, from what I understand, he had a habit of treating you like.
The
Would you
help.
prefer the term nanny, nursemaid? Oh, the help. I wasn't going to use that one because I feel like it's a bit insensitive, but sure.
I'm
People
going to be
say
honest
things in
about
front
how
of.
he treated me. It doesn't mean I accept his definition of me.
Of course not, but people say things in front of people they think are the help. They they kind of ignore their existence until the right moment. They, despite your fantastic suit, allow them to blend into the furniture, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably said things in front of you. He didn't say to other people. People he actually, forgive me, not a personal judgment, respected.
Yes. Well, I understand, and do not take that as personal judgment. I also don't think it was in any way, shape, or form, well, things he wasn't going to say in front of other people. Um, so, I give you what I know. You go on your way. I call in perhaps the last remaining effective mystic in this city to see about what the fuck is happening in my building.
Or a Bono Keen probably, or one of those Koldunic people. I don't know if you have one of those here.
Not really.
I hear the Setites are also good with sorcery. I think it might be something sorcerific, but I'm not really 100% sure. I'd have to do a proper, thorough investigation, and that would take up time.
That's okay. I have a mage on speed dial.
That's good. At least one of us does. I got to do all the work myself. No assistance. Just a writ from the ivory tower and a lot of no help.
So, let me make your life a little easier then and give you some help. Cadfael was a misogynistic, power hungry asshole. However, he was the official Ventru Justiciar and had permission to be in the city to hunt down Sabbat threats. This then led to a revelation that the Tremere were attempting to do creepy, weird cult shit. Quote, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That led to their official order of destruction. I don't know if that creepy occult shit began before or after they chose to turn. Well, I don't know that they were intending for the woman that they turned to have been a blood descendant Giovanni.
That was a fuck up.
Of astronomical proportions. That they then. So you had a bunch of Tremere who are now blood bonded to a woman, and I use that term loosely. They're more targeted phrases, but I don't like to say those in mixed company, who had been trained since birth in the dark arts of the Giovanni, now given the powers of the Tremere.
There's a lot you can do with that kind of thing.
Yes, there was. Fortunately for this city, a purge was called on them. And your Justiciar shows up and enacts it. Then decides that perhaps it might be better to play political games with a woman twice his age.
Which woman would that be?
The prince. Because, of course, this meant that we should have a Ventrue as prince of this city. Now,
Sure.
I'm all for clan pride. And eventually manipulating myself into more power because it's a goal.
Sure.
But even I'm not stupid enough to try and take on her one-on-one.
I mean, well, people are like that. This Tremere Giovanni, are you certain of her final destruction?
Well, yes. We know of her final official destruction because uh, she blunt bonded a uh, Nosferatu that I was aware of, and, well, he felt her destruction.
That's good to know. I appreciate it. You've also had another Tremere. There's two still surviving. How did they escape the destruction?
Well, Larissa was always more of a figurehead than a power. The only reason she was Primogen is because the actual regents of the Chantry didn't want to deal with us peasants, who are not, mystical wizards of the dark arts. So, when an official purge order went out and the threats came down, she threw herself on the mercy of the prince and offered to swear a personal vow of vassalhood.
That's good, I suppose. I don't really
I
care.
mean, kept her undead. And now, a powerful, ancient, well, not elder vampire with precognitive abilities has on command a chained blood mage. I don't think political change is happening anytime soon in the city of New York.
Probably not, no. I'm not planning on doing anything sinister, if that's what you're asking.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
know.
talking.
You walked out of meeting her alive. Well, in the same status you went in.
You'd be surprised how effective a liar I could be. It's the nature of being what I am. Anyway, but I don't. I'm not lying to you, or at least not about that. So we know where she is, and Dontrell goes missing. How did he survive?
Dontrell was always an anti-trib. He didn't attend any chantry events. He stayed busy. He was a sheriff, well, under sheriff, I guess is the official title, might be. Captain, I guess. Um, Worked in the Purge, I think. Yes, actually. Hadar was the one who encouraged his venting his frustrations, shall we say, at parties who had perhaps done him wrong.
This leads to the biggest question of all, right? We're talking about a real jackass,
Mm-hmm.
like a total, utter, forgive my language, prick,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Because Catfail was that. He affects one of the biggest massacres of our kind that the entire city has ever seen. And he leaves out two. One, because the prince asks him to do it, a prince he's trying to unseat, by the way.
I don't think ask
And
was really implied so much as she said bet and he couldn't follow through.
okay, sure. Still, I have an understanding for why she survived. But was anyone out there protecting Dontrell? Because even if he is killing his own kind, think of Catfail for a second. What would you do if you're that kind of asshole, wandering around, thinking that you're bigger than everyone you're talking to? You use people, right? Sure, use Dontrell to kill a couple. Tremere, what's that to you? But at the end of the day, a purge needs to be complete. So wouldn't you?
I mean, I can tell you that he survived the purge, and they've only been missing for the past, well, couple months. You're not wrong, though. Cadfael hated Dentrow. But you want to know the one person who really enjoyed his presence?
I feel like you're going to tell me.
A member of your own clan. Her name, well, excuse me, as she says, names are bad. But she is called Mitsuo. I don't fight Mitsuo. Do you know how strange it is to have on retainer to the scourge of this city a vampire who is frequently gifted the right of diablerie?
Well, this city seems to be full of strange things.
This city is New York. I couldn't even try to explain it to anyone who hasn't been here.
So what you're saying is there's only one person who likes Cadfael, and I should turn my attention upon them, her, him.
Oh no, Mitsuo hates Cadfael with a flaming passion. She liked Dentrell. That's the difference.
Oh, so I should turn my attention to Mitsuo to find Dantrell.
If that's your choice. Now, if you want to try and fight again, Cadfael, I might know where he was last seen.
I will take that information. Thank you. I will say this. I'm not really interested in finding the man himself because if he made a fool of himself and betrayed the tower in any way, well, I would be honor bound to fight him. And I don't like fighting people. Um, not head on, at least. But I am interested in figuring out exactly how he ticked. You know, get inside of that head of his. Because it seems that that head caused no end of mess to the city, and thus no end of mess to the Camarilla, and thus no end of mess to the Masquerade. And you can see at that point, well, I get a bit incensed because the Masquerade is the one thing keeping us sane and surviving, so to speak.
I don't disagree with your assessment of the gentleman, and I use that term very loosely.
I would use the term prick. In any
So,
case,
let
I'd
me
be
give
happy
you
to
the
get that
address
information.
of where he was last seen.
Thank you.
I have no idea how to get a hold of Mitsuo. She appears when she wishes to, a tiny gothic vampire who murders the fuck out of people.
And constantly given the right to diablerize. Intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not important.
Picture a
Might be
tiny
important.
gothic Lolita blender
Hmm.
who
Okay.
has apparently a door count.
A door count?
The number of doors she's been permitted to break down.
That's not a thing in most places.
She's quite proud of her 8,042 doors.
Understood. 8,042. 8,042. That's a significant number. I should warn you, whoever did the buzzing thing, the whole weird, strange, lights are too loud buzzing thing,
Mm-hmm.
that person intended for us not to be able to hear it. So intended to fuck with your mortals.
Then I think I must make a phone call while you stand here.
Okay.
And she reaches over, taps her phone, wakes it up, scrolls through her contacts, taps just two contact in the phone that just says RL. It rings once, it rings twice. Jessica, what's up? So how are you doing? What's up? What you never call this late. What's wrong? Rebecca, darling, where are you? Well, I just left the thing, so now I'm gonna go do the thing. You know, I have like my own shit to do. My store doesn't run itself. You know. Yes, Rebecca, I'm aware. Could you perhaps come to the office? Someone decided to, as my new friend.
Ah, yes.
Ah, yes. Thank you. I'm sorry. I don't like to give names without permission. Ayaz said, fuck with my humans and not let us know about it. Well, that seems like really rude and shit. Honestly, I don't know what would be up with that. Ayaz. He sounds nice. I should come meet him. I'm gonna come meet him. Okay, I'll see you in like 5 minutes. Don't burn anything. And, like, remember what I said, smudging is not for beginners. People keep saying it is. It's not. It's totally thing. I understand, but anyways, I'll be there in like 5 minutes. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right. And the phone clicks and closes.
She sounds deceptively young. Like she's trying to be young, but she's not.
You're about to meet what is probably the most powerful magic practitioner in this city.
Wait, not one of the, not one of the real ones, right?
Her little occult shop has existed on the Lower East Side for the last 100 years, and nobody touches it.
But they look like fire and moonlight. It's weird.
You're about to
Fucks
meet
my
an
whole aura.
Orthodox Jewish witch. What do you think about this as unweird?
Yeah, it's just.
Oh, excuse me, not Orthodox. As she says, observant is not the same as Orthodox. And she is correct.
In other cities, there's this whole distance thing between us and them and werewolves and Sabbat, and I'm beginning to like that option a lot more.
Have you ever heard of the human practice of proxemics?
No.
It's a study. It's a field of anthropology, interestingly enough. As she sits back and gestures for you to take one of the very nice cushy seats in like the sitting side, as she kind of comes over around her desk and sits in like the leather armchairs in the window. Proxemics is the study of how humans interact in close proximity to each other. Take for example a subway car. It's an empty car.
Sure.
People will sit, leaving empty seats, naturally. But at some point, the seats are too full. Someone has to sit next to someone else. How do you maintain that buffer of personal space in a city of this size, wherein personal space no longer exists? It becomes a psychological issue.
So you're saying the population's too high not to have pandemonium?
Pandemonium has existed in the city since long before we were here. It's
Mm.
also cursed as fuck, apparently.
Oh yeah, that's just true. I can feel it.
Mm. But, yes, Rebecca Leibowitz, caster, some sort, witch, practicing Jewish woman who owns her own occult shop, and occasionally pretends to be a valley girl.
On the Lower East Side. I have a note somewhere. Um, yeah, here. Rebecca L. Lower East Side, call shop, no known family. That's it.
Yep, that's
I
it.
thought she was probably just like a retainer of some kind.
I don't. Well, she occasionally comes to tea with the prince. They're gossip sessions. So maybe
Prince
she is a
does like to
retainer in a
gossip.
certain sense.
That would be a lady in waiting.
And the
You were talking
doors
about me.
open. Not one of the ghouls, but a young Rachel Weisz in this kind of flowy, flowered dress that's a little off for the weather, but she's also wearing like an overcoat, this kind of like an oversized sweater. She kind of flows in, her hair's down and messy. She goes, "Okay, so, like, hi, I'm Rebecca, and you are." She reaches a hand out.
Ayaz.
"Nice to
Justicar.
meet you. You are right. This building is cursed. Honestly, this is very upsetting. We don't need Marcuses in the city. There's already enough shit going down." Ugh.
Yeah. It manifests as a buzzing. Started early this morning before, no, after. Who's your lady at the front desk? The front desk, not this front desk.
Oh, Jessica.
Jessica. Before it came after Jessica came to work after they already swept for bugs. I did a cursory look around. No physical bugs, no physical paraphernalia. I thought it might be attached to the walls somehow, but I don't know much about this building.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for. Um, and you're here to find a missing Justicar.
Yeah.
He's an asshole. I hope he's dead. Um, Jessica, I'm going to go like sweep the whole place and clean everything out. Don't worry, it's part of your fee is standard. You look like you need lox. Maybe matzo ball
Locks?
soup. Yeah, good matzo ball soup. You're peaked in the inside, not on the outside.
Oh, yeah. I could go for I could go for a snack.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget your health. It's the most important thing. And that switch in accent is instantaneous. There's no moment where it doesn't seem natural. It just happens. All right then. So sit yourselves. Well, you go busy, do your thing. Jessica, you go home because this ain't gonna be a mess. This is gonna be a thing. This is gonna be a whole thing. And I'll tell the other Jessica and Lucia to go home because they need to get some sleep. Honest to God, this is a thing.
Uh, if you figure out what happened, I'm just a curious kind of fella. Uh, I I have a number apparently you can contact me at. I just love to know what's going on.
Okay, sure. Happy to do so. You're so nice. I like you.
Thanks. Oh, one more thing.
Mm.
We can't hear it, and I motion to Pearson and myself.
Well, that
Only
sucks.
they can.
Do you want to hear it?
I feel like it's not particular. No. It's supposed to be distracting, from what I understand, which means it's probably distracting something else.
Probably. It would be a difficult thing. So,
Have fun looking for the layers.
mm, don't worry. I promise anything I destroy will be back before you come back tomorrow night. She turns to look at Jessica. Is like, there might be some burning, so you should leave.
Yeah, I'll head out. Uh, Pearson, Miss Pearson, Miss Pearson, Mrs.
Ms. is fine.
Ms. Pearson. If you find any information that I should know about our two missing friends, do call me. Rebecca has my number. And if you don't, think about what I said, because I'm certain there's something he said in front of you that he wouldn't say in front of someone else. And here's why, because it's one way of showing his power over you. And he
Roll,
wanted to show his power over you.
roll me manipulation, persuasion, charisma, persuasion,
I mean,
or
sure.
what? What do you want to give me another option?
No, oh, do I have persuasion? I feel like I should, but
I
I
know.
don't
I
think I
oh
do.
no wait wrong series wrong. Persuasion is not one of the abilities in this one. It's
Empathy?
empathy, manipulation, empathy, charisma, empathy, or subterfuge if that's what you prefer.
I think I'm attempting to get to her
Mm-hmm.
character. So I think charisma empathy is probably the most accurate here.
Mm-hmm.
No modifiers. Difficulty
Mm-hmm.
6.
Difficulty 6.
Just the one.
She pauses. You can see she thinks about it for a second. The only thing he tried to use as power over me was the threat of a new order when he took power here. But considering that was laughable, it didn't have any intimidation effect on me.
He flips the notebook as he turns around and says, "Thanks. Never underestimate a man who talks about his dreams in front of a beautiful woman. They're scary people.
Hmm.
You have a good day, Miss Pearson,
You.
and good luck with your whole thing."
I can't wait to see the bill. As she walks out of, follows you to the elevator, lets you get on the elevator, and then it, waits until you're gone before she leaves. But where would
Okay,
you like to go?
we've got Mitsuo. That's not going to be help because we don't know where she is.
Mm-mm.
He's Dentrell's haunt.
And you
And
have the last address for
last known.
CAD file too.
Let's go with the last known address for cat file then. I feel like that makes it
Hmm.
simple,
That's actually easy because it's close by.
which is why I chose it
Mm.
in character.
I have a question.
Hmm.
Do you have any concerns about bodies of water?
You know what? None.
Oh, that's good. Because the last address that Jessica Pearson hands you for CAD file is Governor's Island. For those of you who don't know, Governor's Island was the longest continuous military base in U.S. history until 1996, when it was shuttered and sold because it was expensive to upkeep. As part of it was the original Dutch island for the Dutch governors of the city of New York. It sits halfway between the island of Manhattan and Brooklyn, kind of closer to Brooklyn, actually. A portion of it is brand new and was made when they built the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. There's a very large tower attached to the side of it, and by large tower I mean 7 stories. That is the vent for the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel that connects Brooklyn to the Battery, Lower Manhattan, for cars. And all of that waste debris got added to Governor's Island, along with a bunch of waste debris from World War II, and expanded the island significantly. But there are some beautiful 19th century Victorian homes that were housing for military officers and their families. One of those, quarters 8B, Nolan Park, is listed as the last known location of CADFile.
I'm going to pull out a smartphone and look up recent listings, you know, sales, that kind of thing. Most of that stuff is public record. And see if anyone has basically taken residence in 8B publicly or formally since Cadfield's disappearance.
Well, technically, legally, they can't. The island is the property of the city of New York. When they shuttered the Governor's Island for being too expensive to maintain because half of it was on the National Historic Record, they sold it to the city for $1. Thank you, United
That's
States federal government.
that's cheap.
With the
So you can only
provision that the
rent.
city maintain it as a public access park. So the buildings that remain that were part of the National Historic Register remain and occasionally are used as art installations, galleries, public spaces for those kind of things. The rest of it is, all the newer buildings. What was a double Olympic pool and attached to a bowling alley, and indeed the only Burger King in the United States that served beer and pizza, um, because it was attached to the bowling alley, was all torn down. So was the Motel 6, and turned into green space, along with tearing down the pool, the tennis courts, the running track. All of that got torn down.
So likely no one, unless it's officially been someone else has been unofficially invited to live there. No one's been there since.
Indeed, it's probably still closed.
Not bad. Uh, Speaking of closed, would the door be locked?
Maybe in a general sense, like a standard handle lock.
All right. All right. Um, so what does this property look like? 8B, Nolan Park.
8B is the second to last building on the south side um, of Nolan Park. Nolan Park being a beautiful kind of oblong park. Part of it was headed on one side by the stables for when the Army Cavalry Corps was based out of there. And then the three brick houses at the top closest to those stables were for the admiral, the vice admiral, and the captain of the base. Uh, the admiral's house being for the admiral of Group New York, in charge of all of the ships and shipping and control from the United States Coast Guard ran it. Four building. Oh, one, two, three. The admiral's house is building 1, so 8 buildings down brings you to quarters 8. These were intended duplexes, Victorian, Queen Anne, well, before Queen Anne. So they were all built between 1850 and 1875. Beautiful
That was
yellow cedar clapboard, but they were intentionally designed as duplexes, large, full spaces, formal entertaining, 3 to 4 bedrooms depending on what size. 8B itself had 3 bedrooms plus a solarium. They had a basement with a coal chute, furnace, storage area, front stairs and a back stairs, fireplace in the front room and in the formal dining room, butler's pantry, kitchen, exit out the back with a small parking deck that faced the synagogue that was built much later. Hardwood floors, white plaster, oversized Victorian windows that were designed as the original air conditioning, where you could open the top and the bottom to get giant air circulation going.
Sure. Yeah. Does it look like anyone's taken up residence recently?
Mm, no. Or at least, not at first glance. Could you roll me perception alertness?
Alertness. Yep. I'd love to.
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty?
6.
Sounds good.
5 successes.
And I gotta roll a d10. 6
6
successes.
The look of disrepair is intentional.
That's what I figured.
The cobwebs are too neat. The door handles are all oiled, even if they look like they haven't been rolled in years. There's no squeak in the hinges of the storm door. And while all of the windows on the first floor look grayed over as if they haven't been washed, It more looks like somebody made an attempt to throw dirt on them.
Are there any signs of kine here?
Of course
Sorry,
there are. It's City
humans.
Park officially, but it's after hours, and the last ferry was 6 p.m.
In this kind of building, would the storm door attach the cellar underneath the storm door attach to the rest of the building at all, or would it be separate?
Oh no, excuse me, wrong time of storm door. I meant the screen storm door.
Gotcha.
There is no storm cellar door. It's
Understood.
both upright doors. There's a at the back. There is a door that leads downstairs. It was probably obvious at one point. A servant's entrance leads to a coal chute. Again, Victorian period. There's another door next to it that goes up a couple steps, and that leads into the kitchen. But they're
Hmm.
both full size doors.
And is there any sign of any traps?
No, no traps.
That's good.
I need a perception occult.
That's less good. I'm not gonna lie. That's less good for me.
I'm just going to say that you
Um,
managed to roll high enough to be able to make that roll.
that's not what I mean by less good. I mean, it's less good that I is a thing I have to roll at all. Oh,
4, 5.
5.
This building is haunted, and it's been haunted for centuries. At least one, maybe two, and a half. But there's a lot of death on this island. It
So
was
someone's either
a prison of war during the American Civil War. It was a prison and in had been used by um, the British against the Americans until the Americans seized it back during the siege of New York Harbor. Dutch colonials. There was at one point on this island, at a certain point when they were building the Motel 6, the discovery of an entire Native American burial ground that no one knew about, including the Native American tribes in the area. That has since been moved to Brooklyn, by the way. Reinterred properly with all of the last rites. But there are a lot of dead in this island. And not all of them are peaceful. And
so there's a sign of someone unliving, and there's a sign of things decidedly not. Great, great. If I had a candle with me, never have a candle with me when I need it. And he walks up to the door
which one, the front or
and
the back?
the back and gives a polite knock.
So you go up the steps to the kitchen door, gives
Mhm.
a polite knock. As you knock, the kitchen door swings open. Linoleum floors, white cupboards. They took the appliances out, but
Any signs of disturbed dust, or is it deceptively clean?
deceptively clean.
Oh, I hate that. Great, 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 great.
Right inside the door of the kitchen, or like 2 feet inside the door of the kitchen, is the servant's stair, back stair that goes up. There's the doorway into the butler's pantry, and that has the swinging door that's closed that leads to the dining room and then through that archway into the formal living space. Turn around the corner up to the front stairs.
Uh, he places his notebook on a table.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I don't actually fuck with ghosts. I mean, not. I was saying the wrong thing. If you can hear me, I intend to do you no harm. And if you cannot hear me, I still intend to do you no harm. I don't know why I said that. Actually, if you can hear me, give me a sign.
Ooh, roll me perception and charisma occult.
Charisma cult. What a weird thing to roll.
I
Why would
mean,
I
you're
want
trying to persuade an undead entity,
to?
but you get
Indeed, I
four
am.
successes out of that, so
This is not my first rodeo.
five successes. Um, the swinging door, like there's a small door that covers the access to the stair, the servant stair, because there's also, cupboards and all of those things, and it bounces once, twice, and then you hear the third one, and you realize it's doing shave and a haircut.
Why is it always shaving the haircut? I work for a tour company that specializes in ghost tours. It's always shaving a haircut. I don't know why. It just always is. Uh, right. Okay, so you can hear me. Once for yes, and twice for no. Is there anyone other than me walking in this building?
No.
Did someone come to stay in this building recently?
There's a pause as if the answer is indeterminate.
Understood.
You can't. I will give you this. You can feel with with those five successes that the entity is confused by the concept of recently. Time
Was
is
the
really
last
fucked when you're dead.
was the last time someone was the last person in here, and I described Cadfield's appearance to the best of my knowledge and mannerisms.
Two knocks.
No,
No, two knocks
someone.
for yes. Sorry. Oh, one knock
Oh,
for yes, two for no. Sorry, my bad.
yeah. So
That
one.
was Prax screwing up.
So that was 5 years ago. Why is it so clean in here? All right. Where did he like to stay? Can you give me a trail of sound to follow?
You hear uh, as almost a drummer leads you up the stairs.
Thank you. Do you like it here?
No answer.
No one ever knows how to answer that.
There are three rooms. Well, there's one room at the top of the servants' stair. There's a bedroom to your left, and it opens up along the whole back wall of this half of the duplex. Again, this is a duplex.
Hmm.
You can see as you look out, because you can see mostly in the dark, correct?
Yeah.
The sun porch on the far side of that bedroom. There's a full bath with um, clawfoot tub, yellow tile, white accents, black and white mosaic penny tile floor, a um, laundry cupboard. Then you can see as you get to the top further that those leads to the top of the front stairs, and what would be the originally the lady of the house and the master of the house's bedrooms. Connected doors between the separate sleeping quarters between the two.
He goes into the master of the house as one without even thinking because this is the man's old enough that he would understand what the lady of the house's room was supposed to be, and he would not want to stay there because he's a misogynist. So, yeah. Anyway,
It's also, funnily enough, only the master of the house's bedroom has the ensuite bathroom The ladies doesn't. But there
What
is a
would he
connecting,
need an ensuite bathroom for?
but it does have a connecting door between the two. The master of the house's room, the master bedroom, is on the front of the building. There's a small pull down access to the attic as you walk underneath it, but there is a full, beautiful bedroom. And as you walk into the bedroom, you realize no one could have been in here in the last 5 years, otherwise, this would be much more obvious. There's a Victorian canopy bed centered on the side wall to the front of the house. There's a large fireplace that's been cleaned, pristine, against the side wall of the eastern wall. There is a dresser drawer and a vanity on either side of the connecting door to the ladies' bedroom. A folding screen and chair right outside the bathroom, and a individual on the bed.
Just, just so I understood that right. There's a whole ass person on this bed,
Mm-hmm.
living or dead.
It's complicated.
Oh, great. Just my least favorite answer.
I mean, it's not hard if you get a little bit closer because it is a bigger room. You kind of have to look at it. You realize it is Cadfile. And somebody went to the effort of turning him into a seven-pointed star.
Sorry, what?
Terms for those of us who have watched way too many 80s and 90s Hong Kong triad movies. A seven-pointed star is a means of execution amongst the triad. Shots to the shoulder, the knees, the elbows, double tap the head and the heart.
Did he?
But in this case, somebody did it with stakes. So is he
Oh,
alive or dead? It's a complicated question.
great. He's been staked to the bed?
Yes.
Please tell me they at least stripped the sheets.
No.
Oh, that's just a mess for someone else to clean up later.
Yes. They did not strip the sheets. This was done on top of the what was at one point a very beautiful plush red velvet comforter. And he's kind of seated slightly above his back because, he's got all of the extra pillows behind him. And it's also kind of through the headboard, but,
I did knock.
There's probably no saving this bed.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. I did knock.
Mm-hmm. You did.
Does he respond at all?
No. There is a stake through his heart.
Hmm.
There's one through his heart, one through each of his shoulders, one through each of his knees, and then one through his skull. And
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
If you bite me, I will kill you. Make no mistake. And with that slight pun, he's going to pull out the stake over the heart, nothing else. The man's still going to be pinned. Great job. You landed yourself in a massive mess. Good for you. You awake?
Run.
Please. Run from what?
They come back.
Who comes back?
Could you roll me perception awareness?
I'm gonna get myself killed. If you have money to send for a crit, now is the time. Now's really the time.
I'm just going to say
I'm
we're
just letting
getting
you
close
know.
to the end of the session anyways. You should give a crit to both of us.
Or just one of us. You can pick. Difficulty 6.
Yep.
Okay. Would having Auspex help in this situation?
Um, no.
Great.
3 successes, though. A full, complete success, right?
Mm-hmm. At what cost?
I mean, you hear. That's the problem with these houses built in the 1860s. The wood warps, and no matter how hard you try, there's going to be a creak on the stair. And the weight of a heavy boot. Or three.
Prax.
Yeah?
3 boots? What, as in 3 sets of boots?
Yeah, 3 sides.
Not like a 3-legged person.
No, probably not a 3 legged person, but
I'm
Or
gonna
you could
ask you.
assume like perhaps it's one person who's or 2 people because they're stepping at different times and you have 1 foot in the air. Who knows?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna ask you a very serious question.
Sure,
It's not gonna sound serious.
that's fair.
What is the music telling me?
Is that your last GM question you want to use?
I I think so. Yeah.
You have 2 choices. You could try and get CAD file out, but you'll get captured yourself. Or you could leave out this window and perhaps 75-25 avoid getting shot in the ass.
It's a good point. It's a good one. Is there anything significantly sharp around here?
The stake in your hand.
I'm gonna restake him, but
Mm-hmm.
not where you're thinking. I'm instead gonna go underneath the throat to internally decapitate him.
I won't even make you roll for it. He can't
Sure.
resist. And he's old enough that he instantly turns to ash.
And now I'm gonna run out the window.
Out the window, onto the front porch roof. As you get there, you see 3 other figures on the porch looking around. You can get off onto the roof. Could you roll either Dex Athletics or Stamina Athletics to see how you can get out?
Well, I have no athletics, so I'll do stamina.
Unless you want to make me a different argument for something. What do you think is
Hmm.
appropriate to use to try and escape capture?
You said there's no cars nearby.
No, this island does not. Well, there were a period of time when there was cars on this island, but not anymore.
Wait, it's a duplex.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to go onto a neighboring building and sneak in that way and wait them out.
So you mean the other side of this duplex? It's not a
Yeah,
townhouse, so they're not row houses, right?
yeah,
Like they're
yeah.
not all
The other,
connected. It's just
the other
two.
side of the dope.
Yeah. So you can go onto the other side of the thing and try and go through that building and out that side and evade them. So I think that that's a subterfuge then.
Yes. You still want stamina?
Yeah, I'll take stamina. Or unless you have something. No, you can give me manipulation subterfuge if you want to do that.
Well, I've learned not to say no. Let me just double check. I've got nothing. I've got nothing that could help me here. I mean, I could try to dominate them, but that's probably not going to end well.
1 success.
Exactly 1 success.
So you get into the
Partial.
you. It takes a minute because you have to actually open the window from the outside to get into the other side of the duplex. You determine that the back stairs are going to be better in this instance. You go down, out the back stairs. You realize that there is one other exit in this building you could have gone out, and that's the exit from the basement. So you can go out the exit from the basement to the coal chute, out the side, the right side of the building. You make your way to the boat slip, because it's an island, you had to take a boat. And just as you're starting, you're going to come under fire from a bunch of automatic weapons. So you will get shot in the ass.
Okay, well,
But you're in the boat when it happens, so I guess it's okay.
we live.
For tonight. You make your way back to Manhattan. Back to this brownstone that you've been gifted for the time. And there's a letter waiting for you.
I'm really beginning to hate this city. And I crack open the letter.
It's a beautifully calligraphied note from Rebecca Leibowitz saying she hopes you had a great night. Welcome to New York. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Well,
You lived! Ish.
it was a welcome.
It was. It was a welcome. And you never know. We might come back because we're going to see what happened at the summit after the fact. And now we've got a Justicar who found another Justicar being staked in.
I never liked him anyway.
That's fair. Are you just going to take that as the excuse for why you ended his existence?
Somebody was keeping him up there, keeping him blood-fed enough not to get into torpor, and still had him staked. But staked in such a way that he was never going to get unpinned by himself. So someone's been pumping him for information. I stopped the flow of information. Priorities.
You did stop the flow of potential information. So, did you have fun?
I did. Did you have fun?
As perfectly timed as I did that to get you right when you're taking a drink. That was not
It's
intentional. But thank you everyone for hanging out. Thank you for donating so far. Sir, share where you can be found, all of the good things, and then I will do my spiel at the end.
Hi, I hope you donated, and please continue to donate. What we're collecting for is very important, especially around now where it's Veterans Day in the United States, and here in Canada, it's Remembrance Day, which is why I'm wearing the poppy. Well, it's going to be on November the 11th, Tuesday. Anyway, my name is Norin Ligadir. My pronouns, he, him. My werewolf feels, because I'm a werewolf and I feel things. You can find me on Wandering DM, where we're going to be playing The Witcher. We're still playing The Witcher. I'm playing a mage. It's so far not taking any ridiculous risks. So far.
Roll deception.
Keep your mouth shut. It's not a ridiculous risk if it's a necessary risk. And anyway. No, but he's been irresponsible with his stamina usage because he feels guilt. That's his own problem. But if you want to see more of that, you can check out Wandering DM's YouTube channel, where the previous episodes already are, and you can watch us on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, if you are interested in listening to a little podcast, Game Master Monday has me for a mini-series of Demigods, PBTA, which will be happening every single Monday. The first episode's already out. The second episode will be out tomorrow. We hope. It could be that something gets in the way of that. We're hoping that's not the case. But, we do hope. We'll let you know. And last but not least, you'll probably find me here on Tuesday itself, where I'll probably be wearing Poppy again, playing some game of some kind. Until then, it was really nice to see you, to see all of you. Nice to meet you, Prax, in reality.
Yeah.
And I had a really good time.
I'm glad. I'm glad you had a really good time. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. This is an interesting development, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Full disclosure, my dad's last duty station was Governor's Island, and Quarters 8B was literally the house we lived in.
So you haunted your own house. That's great.
Now, to be fair, when I say that this island is haunted, you can actually look it up. Governor's Island is one of the most haunted places in New York. There's an entire book about the hauntings written by the wife of one of the service members and the documented hauntings of the island, including not technically my house, but the one next door, where when they came to do classic military contract job, right? Like I hire a guy to come in with a backhoe because they need to replace a septic system. So they go down, they pull up, guy with the backhoe pulls up a skull. Now remember how I
I'll
said there
do
are
it.
a lot of dead bodies on this island? So we need to determine the age of the skull, right? Like, is this last 20 years? Is this 100-year-old? Is this 200-year-old? Is this older than that? Fast forward, come to find out, no, this is actually should have been part of the Native American burial that was reinterred under appropriate rites in Brooklyn. Send it off to Brooklyn. The tribes are going to deal with it and figure out what the right way to do this is. Fast forward again, no issues. The guy comes back, continue, because we have to pause construction while we determine the age of the remains, because this could be an active crime scene, or it could be just really hella old. In this case, hella old. Guy comes back, puts the backhoe down, pulls the backhoe up, and there's a full skeleton sitting there smiling at him. He leaves, gets on the ferry, leaves so far he does not come back for his backhoe. Governor's Island is cool, y'all. You can go look up its history. It's kind of interesting. But we will be back shortly, actually, at 8 o'clock, as I'm going to run some more D&D for some more of my friends. And we're going to see what happens, but I'm sure it won't end up anywhere near as bad as Arvandus did this morning, running from a death knight. In the
Well,
Dread
one
Plains.
hopes not. Torture. That's torture.
He did the right thing, which was run, and then he turned around and decided that he was going to dedicate himself to Morden. And Morden said, bet. You want to smite? I'm going to give you smite. And let him smite a death knight, and rolled a nat 20 to do so. So there you go. And then ran. But we'll be back. I will be back shortly. Y'all take care of yourselves, and thank you again for all of your support for Fisher House Foundation tonight. And we will see you again in a little bit, and then again for the last game for tonight, and then Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. At least both of us will be back here, and we'll see what happens. There will be a game. We will find out what that is later on Tuesday, and then we'll see what happens next, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.